what's up, Dallas? It's Rachel. I have Terrence in the house. He's my special guest today. How are you?
I'm fine.
Doing good?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so I met Terrence just a little while ago, probably, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
And you were a graphic designer, is that right?
Right.
All right, so tell me about your business.
Well, I started out. I went to get my degree in graphic design when I was doing music, just because I wanted to save money on paying other graphic designers. So I use. I'm a Navy vet, so I use my GI Bill to pay for college to get my degree from Westwood College.
Okay.
And then from there, I've done all of my graphics, and when I was before I even went to school, I used to do like freelance designs in the Navy for friends and stuff like that. And so every now and then I still do freelance graphic design, but mostly I do all of my graphic design for everything that I do. And then, you know, if my family or friends ask me for designs, and I do it for them.
Okay. And do you have like a steady flow of clients? Like, I know you say you do album covers, right?
Right. Mostly I just do my stuff. And that's where I am right now, just because in just dealing with clients, I don't really have the time right now, since I'm working like full time, and then I have my own side projects that I do.
Okay. And you say you do music too?
Well, yeah.
Come on now, you gotta talk about that.
I started doing music in high school, and then it became kind of hard to do it in the military. But I met a lot of people in the military that did music. And so when I was in Virginia, I started recording music more seriously. So when I first got out of the military, I recorded my first album. I funded it with like all of the money that I had left when I was getting out of the military. So I kind of went broke putting my first album together. And then from there, I started doing like a whole bunch of mixtapes, performing at various clubs around Dallas. I met one of Dallas staples, Kundalini. I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but he was like very
into it.
Yeah, he was real. He was like a founder of trying to get underground artists a name, and getting us to perform, and just pushing us on how to be creative and presenting our stage performances, and just taking pride in being an artist. And I performed at a couple clubs that he was doing, and then just through using MySpace at that time, networking with other artists, I performed in San Angelo, performed in Waco, opened up for Chameleon Air, Charlie Boy, Young Berg, Frankie J.
Oh, I love Frankie J.
Yeah, so that was mostly what I did with music. And then just always as a kid, I always wanted to be a writer. So transitioning from music, I became an author.
Okay.
So now I'm a published author, a published poet.
Right.
I mostly do all of my graphic work for my book covers. I put out spoken word every now and then, so I do the covers for that. And then I still do music. When I record, I do all of my art. I have a couple of artists that, you know, I'm friends with. Whenever they ask me for graphic work, I'll do something for them. And then I've moved into doing short films. So now
you're everywhere. You're just doing everything.
Right. I mean, I have a degree.
That's a beautiful thing.
I have a degree in visual communication, so I feel like it would be a waste of my time and money and going to school for 3 years to not at least use part of everything I learned. So
I agree with that.
So yeah, from doing music and becoming a writer, I transitioned to doing short films. I started off just like doing little things on YouTube. Like when I was doing music, I would do like webisodes, just showing like what I was doing with music, kind of like what Joe Budden did in his early years. And you know, I would just kind of like journal what I was doing with music. And from there, when I wanted to kind of start into the video film realm, I started with like a YouTube channel where I did like a sports show with my best friends.
Right.
Where we just kind of like sat around and talked about sports. Well, I let them talk about it. I was behind the camera and I was actually filming it. You know, so I did the executive production on that, and then with music, I did a small series showing how I was making one of my projects. I did an EP called The Fix, and so I kind of like did a documentary of myself as I was creating that. And then from there, I went to, I did right when the pandemic was happening, you know, cops shooting black guys was a thing, and racism was a big thing. And from being in the military, I wanted to kind of put those together and give the public an outlook on what it's like to be in the military and experience racism.
Right.
So I interviewed a couple of vets that I know that were all from the Army, and they told their versions of how they experienced racism, sexism, favoritism while being in the armed forces. And then I put that out on YouTube. It's a series called Black Veteran. And from doing that, I was trying to put it out on Amazon Prime. And because of the content, Amazon Prime wouldn't let me put it on their platform.
Right.
But they wouldn't exactly tell me like why. And then when I asked for like more specifics of the reason of why they were denying it, they told me if I kept asking, they would ban me from ever putting anything on Amazon Prime. And so I used to mess around with Vimeo, and I found out that Vimeo has their way of creating your own streaming platform. And so I created my own streaming platform. Now it's called Villian, and I use that to put all of my content out. It's actually pretty easy, but it's just getting started.
Okay.
So,
you said Villian?
Villian,
okay.
Because my company is called Classic Villian. And so Villian is just like my version of where people can be themselves.
Okay.
And so when I did my first short film, I was going to put one out right when the pandemic started, and because of COVID, I almost got COVID. A couple of my behind the scenes people came close to catching COVID, so I put my first short film project on the back burner, and that's when I did Black Veteran. But I still wanted to do a film, and so me and my best friends, we used to go out every month, you know, just because we were older and we were finding it hard to spend time with each other. I came up with this idea for us to all have like a guys' day once a month, and we would rotate who got to choose what we were doing.
Okay.
And from that, I chose to go hiking at Cedar Ridge Preserve. I don't know if you've ever been there, but yeah, from going hiking there, it reminded me of Temple Run. Have you ever played that game?
I have.
And so from Temple Run, I thought it would be dope to do a live action version of that game.
Okay.
And so that's where my first film came from. It's a short film, but I called it Ridge Run just because of copyright and all of that. And so I put that together with the video equipment that I had, and I put it out. It was the actual first film that I used to launch Villian.
Okay.
And we did a private screening for that at the Texas Theater in Oak Cliff.
Mm-hmm.
And then I put it into a couple film fests. It was my first film. It didn't do as good as I wanted it to in the film fest, but it was a learning experience. And so from doing that, I wanted it to be a 3-part trilogy. So in doing Ridge Run 2, I improved my equipment. I widened the cast of actors that I worked with. I increased my budget. I funded everything myself. I worked like 3 jobs last summer to fund the film, and then I finally put it out. I always put them out around Christmas, so they're not actually like Christmas themed movies, but they come out around Christmas. And Ridge Run 2, I put that out last year around Christmas, and it's been doing very good this time around in Film Fest. Right now, we've been officially selected for 14 Film Fests.
14 Film Fest. Wow.
Yeah,
what
so,
an accomplishment.
Yeah, because the first one, I only got it into, I think, like 4 or 5. Yeah, so to go from that to now 14, we made finalists for some, honorable mention for some. I'm still learning, how to be a director and how to improve my method. Because, when you're in school, they just teach you the basics. But I watch little YouTube videos on how to improve. And soon I'll probably look into doing a master class on how to improve as a director and filmmaker. Just because I really don't want to go back to school to do a filmmaking degree. But I think, as long as I constantly take classes, learn, willing to improve my technique, then I'll get better as a filmmaker and cinematographer.
I agree with that, and I think it's really cool that you're doing what you're doing. There's a lot of DFW talent here, a lot of actors, photographers, producers, movie writers, a lot of DFW talent.
Right, but it all comes from me originally just wanted to be a graphic designer, but now I get to use every aspect of my degree, like working with After Effects. I do all the graphic design in the films. Still, I'm probably going to start getting into special effects. That was never my thing, but I just think, to grow and to really make the movies kind of pop and more amusing for the eye and for the viewers,
I want to check these out. I'm gonna review these movies.
Yeah.
Terrence sends them to me. I'll review them and then I will tell y'all what I think.
Yeah, I mean, Villian is where you can see both of them without a doubt, because that'll always be where my content will be. But Ridge Run 2 is actually on Amazon Prime now. And I do have a couple more films that I'm getting ready to start working on that'll be specifically for Amazon Prime now that I'm able to get on their platform.
Very cool, very cool. And I do know, just from doing my research, you have an apparel shop too, where people can go
right
and buy your things.
So like recently, I started branching off into doing like a collection for golfers, because part-time now to fund my projects I work at a mini golf place.
Okay.
So like this is actually some of the designs I designed that I wear there, and luckily the owners of the facility, they let me put some of my merchandise in there, and
it's very cool.
It's called Mad Putter, and so that has actually like the clothing that I put in there for people to buy has actually moved faster than any of the other
online.
Right, faster than online, but actually it's moved faster than any of the other apparel that they have in the pro shop.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so
That's crazy, but good. That's great.
yeah,
Congratulations on that.
thank you. It was a surprise. Like even they're surprised about it.
Uh-huh.
You know, because they have their own merchandise that they designed there, and then they have different other like really popular golf clothing that's there. But mine is the one that's really been selling. So
I think yours is the eye-catching stuff. So I seen your graphics that you have on your T-shirts and stuff, and it's like stuff that people can relate to and people
Right.
actually want to wear.
right.
Because it's always got a message on it, whether even it's one word or 3 words or something. It's still a message.
Right. I like to blend things that people are familiar with my brand. So it's kind of like, you know, versus just wearing something that no one has ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
You're instantly catching that eye with the familiarity. And plus, you know, I'm an 80s baby. I was born in 1985. It's the best era of cartoons, movies, music. So a lot of people, even now, you know, with the way fashion is going, it's like going back to the 90s.
Really is.
A lot of stuff that I did in high school, I wore in high school, is coming back around. So, and then I just like retro. So, you know, so that's why I try and incorporate all that into my designs.
I really like that. I like that whole concept. And yeah, you're right. It is all coming back. So, could you tell the viewers where to find your clothing at?
You can find my clothing in the online store at classicvillian.com. You can just pull up the website. It'll ask you to enter the site, and then at the top right, you'll see where it says online store, and you just click there. It'll take you to all of my designs. I have various collections of sports. I create my own like sports teams themed clothing, as well as comic book themed, movie based themed, and I have prints there as well. I also do customized work for like what's called monies, which are these collectibles that I design. And I'm starting to get into sewing. So pretty soon I'll have like personalized custom pillows that I sew and put in there as well.
Very cool. Yeah, go check out his online store. Go check out his videos on Amazon Prime. Look for Ridge Run 2, correct?
Right.
That's the name of it. Y'all go check it out for sure. And your social media?
Terrence Brashun, TerranceBrashun, or you can just look up Classic Villain Brand and it should all pop up.
Sweet. Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for coming here.
Thank you.
I'm so honored to have Terrence here. He is a graphic designer. If you guys need some logos, you need some help with getting your designs and your brand, Terrence is the guy for you, okay? Also, producers, directors, actors, film writers, this guy too. Look, we're going to connect DFW together one way or another. So y'all like, support, comment, share, and show some love. And thank you.
Thank you.